Vsauce, Kevin here.
My name is Kevin Lieber. I run a channel called Vsauce2, which is about science and technology and the everyday amazing. I think that I've made probably 400 or 500 videos.
Teleportation is actually possible. It's just really hard.
The frog legs are a little chewy.
Thanks for watching.
I've always been obsessed with creating worlds and imagination. One of the things that I really wanted to do, and I've always wanted to do, is do a mixed media thing where there's the real world and there's also kind of this imaginary world. When I make my YouTube videos, I literally hit record and then walk around the other side of the camera and talk into it. And that's, typically the extent of the production for the most part. So this was very, very different. With the Field Day project, I was able to bounce ideas off of the other people that I was working with, off the crew, and say, hey, I'm thinking about this, but I don't know how to execute it. And then having the assistant director show up and be like, why don't you try this? And it being a brilliant idea, and it made the production better. I mean, the creative process really just starts with what is a story that I can tell, that I could involve animated characters, and that I could be excited about, that could be a little funny.
Wow, now I realize I'm the one who wasn't good enough for you.
And that's where I came up with the idea of the emotions behind putting yourself online. There are many people who really kind of live their lives on the internet and make their living on the internet, and there isn't a large dialogue going on about really what that means and what that feels like. What are the reactions that everyone looks for when they post something? Maybe a positive affirmation from your parents.
You are our favorite child.
From your buddy.
Oh, you're gonna be so rich when this thing goes viral.
It's outside my comfort zone. I mean, the biggest challenge was the animation. It just takes a really long time. Even during the production process, the way that we had to shoot certain things for the animation was very technical. So it was a little difficult to be directing and acting at the same time, especially when we were doing shots where I had to be perfectly still. So I couldn't move, because if I moved, then that would mess up the animation. And then also trying to see the monitor, so I had some sort of idea of what the shot looked like and what the framing was. I had to have little action figures on my shoulder. I had to have green markers on my ear for when the friend popped out of the ear. It's very different. I'm not teaching people about the latest in robotics. I'm talking to anthropomorphic pizzas.
You're too funny.
My favorite aspect so far of this process really has been seeing the animated characters come to life. To be able to see kind of what I had in my head and what the animators come up with on their end, it really is a form of magic.
This has been a fascinating look into the magical mind of Kevin. Click subscribe so you don't miss any of these great creators coming up, and you'll be ready when Jake from Vsauce2 shows up for his field day, as well as Soul Pancake, Dormtainment, Devin Supertramp, and more coming to a field day near you. If you're already a subscriber, thank you. You're the best. Yep, I said it, best. If you're not a subscriber yet, now is the time. Click anywhere and be among the first to catch these great videos. See you next week.